Hey, welcome to another conversation with CB3. Hey, listen, this is where we talk about real results with real people, and we talk about a real transformation that they are experiencing in their lives today. I have the profound pleasure to sit down with one of my good friends, Paul Fraser. And I'm sitting down with him today because he's making moves in his life, not only in the market, but making moves in his life as well. But he has a powerful journey. He has a strong story to tell. And if you've ever doubted whether or not trading is for you, what I want you to know today is if you lean in, you'll find out that not only is it for you, but you should have gotten started a long time ago. I want to welcome Paul Fraser from Santa Barbara, California. How you doing, Paul?
Oh, I'm great. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
That's good. That's good. Let's just dive right on into what we're going to talk about. Just tell everybody who you are. Tell us where you're from and what made you want to learn how to trade in the first place.
Okay. Originally from Boston, Massachusetts. My work background is mostly Chinese medicine, so I am not what anyone would call a financial person. And a big part of it was like so many people, we all work so hard for so little.
Right. Wow.
And I thought, I love the work that I do. I love helping people. That makes me incredibly happy.
Mm-hmm.
And yet what I'd love to be able to do is to give more to my family, help those people who are near me, maybe enjoy my life a little bit more, have some time. We realize how much we spend, we trade time for money.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And it just the equation isn't right. And right. So I spent months thinking, I would be curious to try a little bit of day trading, And so I read many books, went through a whole lot of different websites, and basically what I saw there was a lot of shameless self-promotion.
Wow.
You pay us, we get rich from the class, but not a lot of practical trading. What impressed me, and my good friend John Paul Gallagher, we were researching it together, and he sent me your link. I looked at your link. First he sent, it's funny, it happened on my birthday. He sent me the link, and he said, just look at this one more. And I was like, oh God, I can't look at another one.
One more.
Yeah, one more. And I was like, not another one. And he's like, just this one. He's like, this one's different. It took me about 5 seconds of looking at your website to realize this is way different. This is way different. This is not shameless self-promotion. What this is someone who truly wants to help people and is doing it.
Wow.
Watched your videos, contacted you. And then in contacting you, realize, wow, a good human being, somebody who cares and is knowledgeable.
Wow.
And is a great teacher. I think we said we were going to talk for 10 minutes. We must have talked for 45.
Yeah.
And I went away from that conversation feeling so optimistic and uplifted, and it's been a great journey since then.
Wow. That's so good to hear. That's so good to hear. I'm pretty sure some listeners out there feel the same way you feel in terms of the fact that, they want to do this. They, they're sincere individuals. They have great work ethic, but they keep getting led down rabbit holes because the fact of the matter is that most people cannot do this for one reason or another. Let me ask you this. So did you ever imagine that you would be learning the markets and that you would be learning how to build wealth in the markets?
Not like this.
Yeah.
Not like this. What feels like 100 years ago, my first job out of college, I worked in mutual funds because it was a recession and that was the only job available.
Yeah.
And even then I had this feeling, wow, the deck is stacked against us as individuals, right? It's there to make, the institution's money at most ordinary people's expense, one way or another.
Wow. Yeah.
And now doing this with you, you boiled this down to something that is so accessible.
Yeah.
and so the software is amazing. Your explanations are so clear that when I tell other people, it sounds like, wow, you really know what you're doing. And I'm like, within what Cornelius has taught us, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. That's awesome. Let me ask you, what was your life like financially and mentally before, coming to our program?
That's a great question. I think for me, it was, okay, we live, from payday to payday, right? And we
Mhm.
say, oh, I can put a little away, but not a lot. And there
Right.
was always this thing of saying like, wow, where my dreams are, they're probably not possible.
Mhm.
Now it's like, this is all very doable.
Yeah.
It's all very doable. So it's exciting now. It's way more optimistic.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Let me ask you this. What was your, because I always, I know from experience, and I tell people all of the time that the markets will teach you a lot about yourself, and it'll
Yeah.
teach you a lot about who you are on the inside. Tell me some of the things that the market has taught you about yourself that
Yeah.
you did not know.
That's a great question. I always considered myself to be cool under fire,
Mhm.
calm, and then getting into this, I realized calm until we're talking about money. And I really had to face my own anxieties around it. Even as in the beginning, when you were saying, okay, do what I do, I was so afraid to do what you were doing,
Yeah.
so afraid to follow you. And then I thought, wow, it would work out if I could overcome myself. And
Right.
but even then you were very generous in the coaching. You were saying, no, stay confident. Don't be afraid to lose,
Right.
we'll get it back. And then to your earlier point is, okay, even if the day goes against you, the other days won't, and you'll
Right.
get it back and then some. And it was the being willing to let you prove it to me and me prove it to myself.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know?
yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's awesome. I knew that was one of the keys, because a lot of times people in this industry, they write books and they've never traded before.
Yeah.
They make software and they've never traded before. I've seen it all. People look at people because they know people are hungry and optimistic and hopeful, and they're just basically take advantage of them.
Yeah.
And so that's one of the reasons that I wanted to not only just tell you what to do, but also show you what to do on
Yeah.
a day-to-day basis, not just give you something that you package and take out of the package at home and you got to try to figure it out. I want to literally show you and walk you through every single day. And that's the highlight of my day. Because actually this may seem strange. I don't even like trading. It does not turn on any button. It does not turn a knob. It doesn't press a button in my life. It's not even exciting. But what is exciting, because I'm a third generation educator. So my grandmother was a professor, my mom was a teacher, I was a teacher and did some lecturing and stuff like that. And so I like to see the light bulb come on for other people. Like, I absolutely love that. So that leads me into this question. At what moment did you realize, you know what, this actually might work? Like, at what point? I know in the beginning, with our initial conversation, you were excited about that, but when you get down into it, into the minutiae, like how, at what point, like what was that aha moment? Like, you know what, I think I found it.
A couple of things. Step one was, okay, begin with a prop firm and qualify.
Uh-huh.
I said, oh, okay, I qualified, which to me was a minor miracle, right?
Yeah.
In my own mind, overcoming my own mind,
Yeah.
and then getting paid, and then getting to
Wow.
a place where, okay, I've extracted more than I had to put in.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm on the plus side.
Right.
And then I was like, this is more than doable. If I can, and I have that feeling, and I've said this to friends, if I can, you can.
Wow.
I'm certainly not a genius.
Right.
I'm just willing to learn.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. How so tell me, how did being in the trading room accelerate your success?
One, to say this, you're a very calming presence in the trading room for someone under these circumstances who I would not be calm, which
Right.
is an embarrassing thing to say, but very true.
Right.
That's one part. The second part is that you have explained every step. Here's my logic. Here's what I'm looking for. Here's what I wish to avoid. These are my reasons why. and it's all happening in real time.
Mm.
And the fact that you can explain and trade at the same time in what I think is a seamless process,
Mm.
it's a confidence builder.
Mm.
It's also every day I learn a little bit,
Mm.
which is fantastic.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Tell us about that first big win. And I know you said you won. I mean, you're getting paid now, and it's a part of income stream now on a regular basis. But that first one, like, tell me
that first
that
one was a real dopamine rush.
Wow.
It's like it's like, wait. First of all, I looked at the accounts. I'm like, hey, I think I qualify for a payout. Which is a little bit surprising in a great way. And then, submit it to the prop firm. The prop firm says, yeah, we're processing this. And then that moment of seeing it in a bank account.
Wow.
And saying like, okay, I'm far better than even here.
Right.
On the plus side, I have no losses. Like I've got everything. And I went in, when I went into this, I went into it kind of big. I was like, well, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it right. I'm going to get an excellent computer and a new desk. I was like, if I'm going to do it, I'm really going to do it.
Right.
That's all paid for.
Yeah.
And in that one payout, it's all paid for.
Wow. So your computer, your new desk, everything, the software,
the course, everything's paid for.
Everything.
In one payment, first one.
So you're on cruise control. You don't have to stop at any more stoplights, any red lights, no yield signs, no deep curves. You're just on cruise control.
And payment 2 was saying to Mary, we should go to France. And we did.
Wow.
Wow.
So hold on. Yeah. So we have sent you to France.
Oh yeah. And not just France, like on a budget France. It was, I enjoyed myself. I had excellent food, nice accommodations. I happen to love, I live in wine country. I love good wine.
Man.
Like the opportunity to again, share it with a loved one.
Yeah.
Is the best.
Man, that's awesome. All right. Now we've looked at the clouds. We've looked at the rainbows. We've looked at the sun. Sure. Tell us about the rain, because this journey, is not always easy, because I always tell people, and when I talk to people, and this is crazy, because when I talk to people in sales call, I actually try to run them away.
Yeah.
Because if a person doesn't have a growth mindset, then this is not going to work. If they quit easily, if they quit every team they were on, if when they did not win as a kid, they cried, he went in the corner and cried, like it is not going to work, because there is a little grit, mental toughness. I write in my book, The Money Market Autopsy, I write in my book several things and characteristics of good traders. One of them is having a tough mentality, being mentally tough. Now, I grew up on the 800 block on 29th Street in West End. So I'm tough. You got to be tough just to even be alive. So this is nothing. You know what I'm saying? When you walk outside of your door, you see actually one human being shooting at another human being in real time. That's tough. This is a computer, but you do have to have a level of toughness, So tell us about those times. Were there ever times that you almost quit?
One time I considered it, and it was early on. I had made a colossal mistake, and it was a technical error. I put in I thought I was trading micros, and I was trading, left, and I was trading minis. It went against me. It blew the account. It was really early on, and I was like, I think I may be too foolish to do this, and I, and even sort of talk to Lamar about it, and Lamar was like, we've all made, some foolish mistakes. This is part of the journey. And then also, trying to build it back, because, I had qualified these accounts and then blew them.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, oh, God, I was sick about it,
I can imagine.
and I remember, I have a background in martial training, and
Okay.
I had this, and in the words of one of my teachers came back, he said, he's like, take 5 minutes and feel bad. Now get up.
I like that.
You
Take
know?
5 minutes and
Yeah.
feel bad. Now
Yeah.
get up.
Now get up.
Man, that's an axiom for life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was like, don't deny that you feel it, but 5 minutes, anything more than that is self-indulgent. He's like, now get up. And then I thought about it, and I was like, okay, we've done this before. The system works, the program works. So let's try again. And so I did, at first I was like, oh God, or other times, I was tempted to gamble a little.
Yeah.
And say, oh, I've signed up for these numbers of accounts, but I'm going to take this one account.
Yeah.
And gamble.
Yeah. Yeah.
Stupid, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
just building bad habits.
Yeah. And so then I learned my lesson. I was like, okay, go back to what we know works. Your system's proven.
Right.
And not only is it proven, I've proved it to myself.
Wow.
Let's come back. And then I'm back on track.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So I guess so what kept you going? The fact that you said the system is proven and I've done it before. That's good. So how has your mindset changed? How has your mindset changed since you first started? Whether it has this bled over into life, has it bled over into how has your mind changed about your outlook on prosperity, your outlook on finances, your outlook, whatever. What has happened? What has changed mentally?
A lot more optimism. So much more optimism. One, there's nothing like proving something. What do they say? Nothing succeeds like success.
That's right.
And there was that part. The other part that really worked well for me was that money was no longer something I needed to be afraid of. I didn't realize until we got into this that I almost started to view money as an adversary.
Wow.
Because I had such
adversarial experiences with it.
Yeah. Similar to you, I didn't grow up in the best circumstances. Not a lot of wealth and some difficult situations.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize that on a subconscious level, I started to think of money as something that would hurt me instead of help me. And then suddenly here it comes. And it's given me in a sense a new profession. It's given me an opportunity, several opportunities, but one big one, that trip to France for me was a dream.
Wow.
And to do it well, when I say, to do it in a
not just
luxurious
go.
way.
Yeah, not just go, but come back with bags and stuff
Yeah,
like that. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
and to
have stories, and that for me, I was like, okay, and to say, look, this is doable again. And just to say, the first trip was France. A couple of weeks ago, I was in Italy.
I remember.
This summer, and again having this amazing time and not being like, oh wow, I'm self-employed, I'm not working, what's going to happen? Number one, I was able to trade from Italy.
Wow.
Just say, excuse myself for a minute and say, hey, pour the Aperol.
Yeah.
I'll be back.
I got to go make some money now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we'll see what else we want to do while we're here. And so in that way, and it's also given me an opportunity to share with friends, to say, hey, this can be yours also.
Wow.
My dearest friend, my closest friend since I was 7 years old, Richard Clancy. I called him when I first told him about it. He was like, I don't know. And so he came out to visit me. We grew up in Boston together. He flew out, and I was like, sit with me. Just sit over my shoulder. Watch this.
Wow.
And he was like, are you kidding? And I was like, it's in real time. You see it. And so then he's going to, now he's doing well. So,
right.
Yeah.
That's, like you said, nothing succeeds better than success.
Truly.
So that's awesome. So let me ask you this: what has this journey taught you, about yourself outside of trading?
It was a confidence builder. that I'm almost 58 years old,
Mm-hmm.
and I can still learn. I
Mm.
can still grow. Uh,
Right.
there are still way more possible professional opportunities,
Mm-hmm.
things like this, which then is that confidence bleeds over into other aspects of life too. It's like, well, if this is possible, which I always thought is a massive obstacle, what other obstacles did I make too large? You
Wow.
know?
Man, that's good
Yeah.
stuff. That's good stuff. And when I asked Zach this question, and he said, "Pay for my house." So I'm
Yeah.
curious. This is my favorite question in the whole
Yeah.
interview that I do. What has been possible that would not have been possible had you not been a part of the Solomon Trade University and met me?
So I've targeted this idea. I'm not there yet, but I'm working towards it.
Mm-hmm.
You say a house. So about in Santa Barbara, about 40 miles north, is this area called Santa Ynez, and it's ranch country.
What?
So they're beautiful vineyards and
Man.
cattle ranches, and for me, it's one of the most relaxing places to just go up for the day. And for the
Uh-huh.
first time in my life, I'm like, we could get a place here.
Wow.
We could look at some property, in the future, and I don't think it's going to be that distant, and say like, yeah, let's have a getaway that feels far away but is close by.
Wow, wow, man. You're about to make me look for some property in Santa Barbara, because you've
Oh,
been telling me
come
about
visit.
it. And the more and more I hear about it, the better it's sounding. Let me ask you this. Someone's watching right now, and
Mhm.
they've heard about day trading. Perhaps they've
Yes,
known somebody who failed at
sure.
day trading. And I run into that a lot. But I always tell people, you should not allow another person's failure
Yeah,
to become your reality. Like where do they do that at? I know that's
yeah,
not good grammar ending with a preposition, but like why like how could anybody ever? Somebody has failed at driving a car, but I drive one. Somebody has failed at flying an airplane, but I get on them. Like somebody has failed at eating. They've choked, but I eat every
sure.
day. So
Yeah,
only sometimes when it comes to this, it just puzzles me. How can you let what Uncle John did, or your cousin, or your friend's brother's cousin that you don't even know, and you don't even know if the story is true or not, to
mm,
talk you out of doing something that can change your life? So somebody is looking at us right now, and
yeah,
they're doubting whether or not they can do it. I want you to look right in the camera, and I want you to tell them why they should not doubt this. They hear your story, but tell them your mentality, and what made you say, you know what, instead of looking at the 99% of people
mm.
who fail at this, I'm going to look at the 1 to 2% who do well, and I'm going to follow their lead.
This class is the 1 to 2%.
Wow.
This class is not those other books, those other
Mm,
online classes.
mm.
You're not trying to take from us. You're trying to give to us.
Yeah.
And that's what changed it for me. That's the first part. The second part that I would say to somebody is, um, get on, watch it, watch people do it in real time.
Mm.
Don't necessarily take my word for it. Let your seeing be your belief.
Wow.
Get in there, see it happen. You can witness this risk free.
Mm.
And the last thing that I would say to somebody is, if I can do it, if I can learn it, and I've got 7 or 8 friends who are coming with me, and they can do it.
Wow.
All 7 people who said yes to this program are doing well.
Wow.
Please give it a shot. Like, you owe it to yourself, your family, your future, your internal peace of mind. Give it a shot.
Wow, wow. That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, you heard it straight from someone who's actually doing this on a daily basis, someone who has used Solomon Trading University to their advantage, taking advantage of the time that I'm willing to give, and our whole entire team is willing to give, taking advantage of what God has done in my life in terms of the wisdom and creating a software and writing the books about it and everything like this. I want to tell you that this isn't a get rich scheme. This isn't a get rich overnight trick. It's about getting the right tools. It's about getting with us, which would be the right mentorship, and it's about a system, and it's about a tactic, and it's about a plan to win. If that makes any sense, and if you do that, I can guarantee. I can't guarantee you results because I am not you, and I am not your index finger, and I would not be touching the mouse at your house. But I can guarantee you that if you follow what we do, that more than likely you would be just like Paul Fraser and all of the others. We have people from all over the world who are part of our group, all over the world, as well as the United States, even the continental United States, as well as Hawaii and Alaska, and it's just a beautiful thing. And I want to leave you with this, Paul. I want to leave them with a statement, but I want you to have the last word. What would be your last word to anybody who's thinking about this? And I know you just gave a powerful statement, but is there a one-liner that you have for them?
This may be, if not the best, one of the best things, one of the best decisions you will ever make in your life if you'll say yes to this.
Wow. I often tell people that next to God, getting married and having children, this is number 4. This is before buying a house. It's before your dream job. This is because if you have the money coming to you in a rapid at a rapid pace, and it's sustainable, it just opens up everything else to you. As you've heard Paul say, hey, listen, if you want to know more about what we do and how to get in touch with us, you can email makemormoney@SolomonTradingU.com. Also on the screen, as you can see, you can start today by texting the word profits to 1-205-946-0975. And I want you to remember this. Thank you so much, Paul. Thank you so much. And I look forward to coming out to Santa Barbara and walking on that ranch that I know you're going to get. I leave you with this. It's God's will that you prosper financially too. Have a great day. God bless you.